Last time on Astronautica.
Our heroes have made it to space. But what made our heroes the people they are today? Well, if you've been wondering that, you're in luck, 'cause you're about to find out. That's right. We got some filler episodes coming up, right here and now, on Astronautica.
It's Chicago, a few years back. The camera pans down from the city skyline with the train trestles dominated by a massive tower in the center, this gleaming white obelisk, a monument to wealth and power. And far below, spreading out in all directions, the urban blight of Chicago. Well, not all directions. There's also the lake. Kind of ends pretty hard at the lake's edge. But in all other directions, it spreads out as far as the eye can see. We cut to, well, Hazel. What does your home look like?
Oh, man. At this point, Hazel's probably just living in an abandoned building. If you've ever been to Chicago or a lot of the Midwest industrial cities, you've seen them. They're the very warehouse buildings, brick with the small square windows that just tile the upper half. And in like a lot of Midwestern industrial cities, they're run down nowadays. If you get into them, there's all sorts of cubbies and holes and clearly things that were once rooms and just dilapidated buildings.
Perfect.
And she would have just kind of made a nest there with probably Briar.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So you're currently alone in your home. Probably like heating up some instant ramen on a hot plate.
Yeah.
Like connected to like a little battery powered generator. This building is without electricity. Some people have run in wires, like grafted on wires from other buildings in the nearby vicinity and are stealing power. But the brownouts are fairly common in this area.
Makes sense.
You're in the middle of a brownout. It's evening, it's dusk, so it's not it's not even dusk. It's the golden hour. So there's still a fair amount of light. And you're just sitting there in the semi-dark, eating some ramen. You hear the sound of footsteps approaching. They seem hurried.
Hurt?
Hurried. They seem
Hurried,
hurried.
okay.
Yeah.
Do they sound familiar?
Let's have you roll an infiltration check.
Infiltration check.
That seems like a sort of infiltration knowledge.
Infiltration. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Ooh. That's 8 dice.
Nice.
That is 1 success.
All right. Partial success.
I don't have my 2 light points per round.
No, you do not. You actually have no light points.
Yeah, because it's a chapter 0.
It's a chapter 0, baby.
Cool.
There's no light points whatsoever. You hear a set of footsteps, and you're like, I'm pretty sure that's Briar. Like, Briar is... Oh, hang on. My phone just... Briar is... Well, it's kind of hard to tell if he's someone who is super clumsy and then surprisingly sneaky, or if he is someone who is sneaky and surprisingly clumsy. Like, he's just not... Like, he's a good thief. Like, he's not a bad thief. But he also is just really sort of excitable. He lets his guard down way too fast. And you hear his footsteps, and you go, yep. Like, that's Briar. You hear the door open in the hallway, and then the door closes. And Briar sticks his head around the corner and goes, hey, got a minute?
Yeah, what's up?
Briar goes back into the sort of old ex-living room area, and then after a moment sticks his hand back through the doorway and, like, beckons you in.
Okay. I will, with a big old, just, like, thing of noodles in my face, just get up and walk over.
You do so.
Obviously still bringing my noodles.
Yeah, you walk into the next room, slurp noodles in mouth. It's just like a big, like, it's that big mouthful you get where it's just kind of hanging down into the bowl.
Yeah.
You round the corner and you see Briar, excited, looking good, everything's great. And there's a man standing there in a nice, clean, crisp suit. He's got graying hair at the temples. His hair's sort of slicked back. And he is scoping the room with that sort of, like, it's not even disdain, it's just curiosity.
Yep.
Where he's like, huh, so this is how they live. And he turns and says, so, you must be the famous Hazel I've heard so much about.
Can't be good if you've heard about me.
So through noodles.
Yeah, through noodles.
He holds out a perfectly manicured hand.
I should go to shake his hand. I've got kind of noodle broth on it. Cup noodles and all.
Yeah. You shake his hand and he shakes it and then looks at his hand, reaches into his pocket and pulls out a handkerchief and, like, wipes the broth off his hand.
I take a big scoop of noodles to hide my very delighted grin at this.
You do so. He balls up the trash can in his hand and then sort of looks around for a trash can, and there isn't one. And then after a moment, he just slowly closes his hand around the handkerchief and sighs. And he says, so, I've been chatting with your friend Briar a little bit. We met under some specific circumstances that we don't need to go into now. But needless to say, I believe I have need of the use of your services.
Which ones would those be?
Oh, how do you put this? Retrieval of an item.
Okay.
It's nothing too big, though it is quite valuable to me. Not so much in terms of money, more in terms of emotional sentiment. It's an old family heirloom that left the family a little bit ago, and I'd really like it back. Because of that, I'm willing to pay you quite well if you can retrieve it.
Okay. Where is it?
Well, it's in the spire.
I mean, I can get into the spire. It's not easy.
Has Hazel gotten into the spire at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. He nods and says, yes, well, that's the thing. I need someone who's able to get into the spire, retrieve the item, and then get out again, all without being seen.
Without being seen at all by anybody. Or just not detected. Because those are two very different things.
Well, once inside the spire, I'd say that being seen and being detected are very much the same thing, wouldn't you? I mean, there's cameras everywhere. So you'll have to be a little extra cautious.
So is it a house, a place,
It's a townhouse on the 300th floor.
Okay.
If you take this on, I'll give you the address and the item in question. And once you've retrieved it, you'll have your payment. Simple as that.
What is that payment?
How does 5,000 credits sound?
Sounds about normal for spire jobs.
Is that a yes?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Briar in the background just goes, yes! See, I told you. You can always depend on Hazel. She's great. She's the best. She's the best infiltrator in the whole city. And the man smiles and says, well, I can't wait to see the results then.
I'm giving Briar the most frustrated look.
The man clears his throat and says, all right then, if we're in agreement on this. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small envelope, sets it down on the desk. The location and the item are in here.
Okay.
Bring it to me and you'll have your pay.
Do you have a deadline?
Sunrise.
Okay. Should be doable.
Excellent. I can't wait to see the results. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a little bit of business I need to take care of, but I'll be seeing you soon. He walks out the door, and as he does, he just sets his handkerchief down, like on an old bookcase top, and just leaves it.
Yeah.
And walks out. And does not close the door behind him.
Of course not.
What do you do?
Oh, I turn to Briar and I just throw my now empty cup of noodles at him.
All right, I'm gonna have Briar roll for an agility check to see if he dodges it. No. All right, it hits him in the face.
You can't go telling people.
Ow!
Dude, we're not good thieves. People know who we are.
It's not like that. Okay.
Do you even know who this is?
Yeah. I did a job for him a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Just a little thing. He needed me to, slip an envelope into somebody's pocket.
What was in the envelope?
I don't know. It was sealed. I didn't open it.
Just
It wasn't
shock and hurt. You didn't even
wasn't-
check.
Well, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like there was it was just an envelope. It's not like there was something in it. There's probably some, I don't know, like a letter, or some, something like that.
Too late to find out now.
Yeah.
All right.
But he paid.
I mean, that's good. We know he pays. This is a good one. 5,000?
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Man, I knew you'd be down for it. I knew you'd be down for it, Hayes. Oh my God. So excited. You and me, we're gonna rob the spire.
Let's do it. Let's find out what we're doing. I'm gonna open the envelope, see what we're stealing.
You do so. Inside is an address on the 300th floor. It is indeed an apartment. How well you roll on this will determine what information you can find out about the address.
That is 2 successes.
2 successes, a partial success. It's in a nice area. It's in a good area. It's a neighborhood in the Spire that's usually rich business people.
Okay.
So, pretty solid. Security might be, everybody's got home security in the rich places.
Yeah.
So that's something you're going to have to work around. But it seems very legitimate. And you pull out the second sheet of paper. It's a photograph of a necklace. It's an emerald set with diamonds around it on a gold chain. It seems nice, but not incredibly... Like, you've seen more ostentatious jewelry before.
So it looks like the difference between the family heirloom that's there for the sentimental values versus the family heirloom that's there because it's going to buy you a mansion one day.
Exactly. Like, it's nice, and it is gold and diamonds and, well, an emerald. But it's not ostentatious. It's not the Hope diamond, This isn't like, it's not the necklace from the Titanic. So, and in on the bottom, in very neat, clean, almost like architect's handwriting, that sort of very precise, machined handwriting, it says, check the desk.
Check the desk. Okay.
Are there any preparations you'd like to make before heading out?
I would make sure that I have my standard toolkit of like thieves' tools, the Astronautica equivalent of D&D thieves' tools.
Perfect.
Things like like lockpicks, crowbars. Make sure we've got gloves. Make sure we switch into like our soft-soled shoes, that kind of stuff. Just trying to be light and that kind of thing. We've gotten into the Spire before, so I probably would do anything that we've done to mimic putting on clothes that would make us look like we are workers there. Not anyone that would live there, because that stands out. But just, like kitchen staff, busboy, that kind of thing.
Perfect. I'm gonna roll on this is my first. I actually purchased a metal D20 for the Be Nice dice.
Ooh.
So it's purple. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna roll on this to see how good your disguise is. It is. You have a couple, like workers, jumpsuits.
Yeah.
That sort of like blue-gray, sort of grease-stained maintenance jumpsuit.
Yeah.
That you can slip into, and you have a bag that also has maintenance on it.
Yeah.
And and Briar has actually has like a high-vis vest.
Fuck yeah.
Like a high-vis yellow vest with those like shiny reflectors and a clipboard.
Oh god. This boy.
And a hard hat.
Amazing. I fucking love it.
And he suits up and he goes, "All right, you ready to do this?"
Yeah, as right as ever.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Please go.
You ride the train in. As the sun sets, you have that growing sense of excitement, anticipation, stress that comes at the beginning of any job. It's the tightening of the stomach, the nerves. You get off the train, and not too far away from you, you can see the massive behemoth building, the 10-block building that is the Spire. How do you want to get into it?
So, this is an interesting point, because I don't really know how she's gotten. I would probably get in the same way I've always gotten in, which my experience with the security of the Spire is actually honestly just generally trying to get in through the front door through like with a maintenance order. Just like I'm here new for maintenance.
Perfect. Yeah, you have a forged maintenance order. And you walk in through the front door. There's a sort of pudgy fella sitting at the front desk. And as you walk in, he looks you up and down and nods to you. And the camera drones sort of swing down and scan you quickly and then pop away. Briar holds up the work order to the drone, and the drone scans it and then pings. And you find yourself yet again in the crisp, cool air of the spire. Even now at night, it's bustling, it's hustling. There's lots of Blightborn people down here, shopping and eating and having a good time. It's the place to be on a Friday night.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and off to the left, as you know, there's an employees only sort of maintenance hallway that you've used before to get up into the true spire, not just the shopping mall.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll head that way.
You do so. You walk over, and there's a fella sitting there at the desk, and he stops, holds up his hand, and says, "Here for maintenance work?"
Yeah, work order 300th floor.
Oh, yeah, I hear they've been having some issues recently, so
It's
glad
always
we're getting
something,
that
right?
fixed. It's always something, I swear to God. The Spire's gonna be a beautiful place once they finish it, am I right?
Yeah, once they finish it. Do you think that'll ever happen?
No, you know it won't. He takes a bite of his donut, takes a sip of his coffee, barely glances at the order, just like he basically looks to see that there's something printed on the page. Doesn't really look beyond that.
Yeah.
Waves you on. You walk down the hallway. To your right's a bathroom. Straight ahead is the end of the elevator, and there's another guard standing there, and he just waves you right in. The light turns green, the elevator doors open, and just like that, easy peasy,
Boom.
you're in.
We got this.
You ride the elevator up, and up, and up. Like it just keeps going.
Is there anyone else on the elevator with us?
Yes, as you're going up, the doors are opening. People are coming in. Mostly, though, the service elevator, not too many people are going up at this time. A lot of people are going down. There's a couple maintenance people that nod at you. There's some food workers, couple people who look like they might be tutors or nannies. But it's all, no one pays you any mind.
Cool.
Everyone's living their own life,
Cool.
just
Just trying to
trying
make
to
sure no one
survive.
notices Briar, who is probably just gaping in the corner.
Briar. I mean, the thing is that Briar's got his he's got his high vis, he's got his hat and his clipboard. Nobody looks at him at all.
Amazing. Perfect.
He just, yeah, he's so visible, he's invisible. And that's sort of the great thing about Briar, is that he always picks what seems to be the worst option. And yet somehow he gets away with it.
Yeah, magic kid, man.
Yeah, magic kid. It's honestly the reason that you've kept him around, because as nice as he is, he would absolutely 100% be a problem if it
100%.
weren't for that little magic touch he has.
What, you mean just bringing random businessmen into our house? and telling them that we're
Exactly.
thieves? Yeah, totally cool.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a moron, but he's a talented moron.
Oh, but I love him.
Yep. The elevator reaches the 300th floor. The doors open. And you find yourself in a very surreal situation. You're on a city street. You've never been up this high before. You've never been in the upper hundreds. It feels weird. There are projections in the sky, overhead, the ceiling, of stars and clouds and the moon. And there are individual, discrete, smaller buildings inside this building. It takes you a moment to find your bearings. You figure out the sort of housing complex's situation. And you head along down the street to a very nice, new-looking apartment building. It's got that sort of style where all of the, it's like there are, oh my God, what the hell do you call them? Like it has balconies and it's that sort of slate gray blue thing. It's very clean and pristine, and it looks like it's like they just finished construction on it like a month ago.
Oh,
like
wow.
it's so new. And this is your spot. This is your location.
This is where we're supposed to be headed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this apartment building, it is 4 stories high.
Okay.
It's not particularly tall. From the outside, it looks like there's some sort of rooftop garden.
Okay.
There are fire escapes. There are, there's the main entryway, and there's a couple of alleys on either side of it.
Okay.
How would you like to enter?
Is it like a townhouse style apartments? So it's
Yeah,
one building all the way up and down?
Yeah, it's one building all the way up and down.
And it's what, around dinner time?
Yeah, it's about 7:00, thereabouts.
Okay. What do I know about how like electrical like reporting would be, right? In hypothetical futuristic high-end security systems, there are the warning situations, right? Like when my internet at my work cuts out and my IT department automatically knows, so they call me and tell me, hey, your internet's acting up. We sent a maintenance person out to fix it. Do I know how that kind of stuff would work, or how much of that would I?
Okay. I'm gonna do a Be Nice dice roll.
I can give you my kind of idea here.
Yeah.
Because the guy downstairs mentioned that the 300th floor was having some issues.
Yes, he did.
So my point of entry here is going to be try to use that of like, hey, we were told that your house was one we're supposed to check for XYZ. Let me go through and check floor by floor to see what kind of stuff we need to look out for. Kind of doohickey.
Yeah, it is, so I rolled a 20 on the Be Nice dice.
Oh.
So, yeah. So, you understand the system. Even though you don't really understand the mechanics of it, you know it exists. And you know that there are companies that take care of everything. A lot of the time, these houses are owned by a company that handles everything. Like, and it's like sort of a company per floor sort of dealio.
Yeah.
And they'll take care of your like your heating, your cooling, your electric, your internet, your gas, all of it. And yeah, they frequently will send, give a call, send maintenance people out. So
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk up and say, hey, they've been having some, kind of be like, I'll run by with Briar. Hey, we're just gonna there's been some weird, HVAC gas things, and we're just supposed to check to make sure everything's working properly floor to floor.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's a good way to go.
Cool. Because that'll get us in, and hopefully they don't just, follow us around.
Great. Sounds good. You walk in to the lobby, and there's a fellow sitting there at the front desk. He looks very clean, very neat, very well dressed in that sort of doorman sort of way.
Yeah.
And he says, "Hi, how can I help you this evening?"
We were sent by to just, do some maintenance. There's been some weird gas HVAC stuff. We're just here to check out, make sure everything's good for you guys.
Roll a manipulation roll with +2.
+2. Where is manipulation? Down there. It's not too shabby. Nice, Dave. That is 3 successes.
Hey, all right. He rifles through. He's clicking on his computer and checking the phone. He says, "Well, we didn't receive an order."
Fucking did it again.
But, well, I mean, I know, there've been issues. I certainly don't want to get in the way, especially if you said it was a gas issue?
They're not entirely sure if it's gas leak or just something funky with the, how they have to temperature control everything, and the spire, especially this high up, they got to make sure that your pressures are all right. So just got to make sure everything's looking good with that.
Sure,
don't want anyone to get lightheaded or sick or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds, yeah, well, of course, yeah. Do what you got to do. The maintenance system is on each floor. Sort of at the end, you'll find the maintenance closet. You should have the access code.
Yeah, we should.
Great. Sure. Go right on up. He presses a button, and an elevator door opens up out of the wall, basically.
Okay.
And he says, "Go on in."
Cool. And then I'm just gonna turn to Briar. They gave you the access code for this floor, right?
"Oh, yeah, of course, I've got it right here." And he gestures at his clipboard.
Cool. And then we'll go. You said this was a 4-story or a 3-story?
It's 4-story.
Okay, we'll start at the top and we'll work our way down.
You do so. You get in the elevator, and you ride it up to the top. It actually opens up into the rooftop garden.
Okay.
It's lovely. It's nice. It's there are some chairs, like Adirondack chairs, a couple proper recliners. There's actually a person up there who's just watering the plants and doing general cleaning care, and she looks up and nods at you.
Kind of give her a little wave.
Yeah. She just keeps on going about her business. She does not pay you any attention whatsoever.
I'm just gonna kind of do a sweep and make sure there's nothing up here. We're just gonna go floor by floor until we get to the 3rd floor. I want to kind of just act like we're doing our job.
All right.
So we're gonna walk around with a clipboard, and I'll pull some sort of box-looking thing that looks like a sensor out of my bag to just pretend.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you pull out this little thing. It's got a sort of a white bulb at one end, and it's handheld gray. Sort of looks like the white bulb kind of looks like half a ping pong ball, roughly. And you just start waving it around.
Yep.
You go down to the 4th floor. As you walk down, you see a door. You see a door open, and a young man steps out, maybe early 20s, and he closes his door behind him and walks past you, talking on his phone, and he just brushes right past you. Doesn't pay any mind whatsoever. You find the maintenance closet, and it is locked. There is a keypad.
Cool. Do you actually have the passcode for this one?
Of course I don't.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I guess we're gonna give it a shot. We've done this before. Like we've been in the spire before. So I'm gonna see if we can't just figure it out based on, having broken into people's places before.
Cool. So, if I remember correctly, your talent allows you to roll infiltration to get through doors and shipping containers.
Roll infiltration instead of tech to open locks. Correct.
Okay.
At GM's discretion.
This counts as GM's discretion.
Cool. Okay. 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. You manage to break the lock. But as you do, you manage to pick the lock open. As you do, an alarm starts going off.
I'm just gonna look at Briar and give him one of the go with it looks. And said, "You said you knew what the fucking code was."
He says, look, all right, this is what Bob told me the code was. If Bob doesn't understand, I can't do anything about that. Now can I?
God, how do we shut it? If we don't have the code to turn it off, to open it, we don't have the code to turn off the alarm.
Let me try something. He's gonna roll for tech to see if he can stop the alarm.
Yeah.
He does.
Hey, good job.
After a moment, he just sort of presses a couple buttons and enters in a code, and it shuts off. He goes, huh.
Did the butler come up here?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna have to go try to figure out what that code is. I'm gonna have Briar stay here and Briar, so you stay here. Try to see if you can remember what the code is, and I guess I'll just go ask the butler and tell him that Bob gave us the wrong code.
Briar goes, okay, sure, yeah, just, be quick.
Yeah. You try to get this open, and I'll go down, I'll go to the service elevator, and I'll go back down to the butler, and, hey man, I didn't catch your name.
Oh, it's Darren.
Yeah. So it seems our supervisor Bob got the wrong code. Do you remember what the access code is for this one?
Oh. Let me look it up.
Thank you.
Starts tapping away. Yeah, it's honestly it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Awesome. Of course it is. He gave us 4, 3, 2, 1. Why didn't we just reverse it? Thanks, man.
You got it.
And I'll pop back upstairs.
You do so. You come there to see Briar locked in conversation with an older woman.
Oh no.
who's, as you approach, he's like scribbling furiously on his clipboard, and she's going, and it's too hot in the afternoon and too cold at night. And the water temperature is just simply inconsistent. We pay far too much to your company to have any sort of issues whatsoever. And what's your name again, young man? And he goes, it's Bob. And she goes, well, Robert, I think that, people should take pride in the work that they do, don't you? And he starts nodding, and his eyes flick to you with this desperate look of help.
I giggle a little bit, like the silent, just like kind of enjoying watching this. And then I walk up and I'm like, yes, you're correct, ma'am. We're here. We're working on something with the HVAC. We'll relay your concerns to our supervisor. We'll be back very, very quickly to make sure that all this gets fixed.
Well, see that you do.
And if we can fix any of it today, we will do our very best.
Oh, that would be lovely. And she toddles away.
Amazing.
Briar rubs his eyes.
Did you take good notes, man?
He shows you the clipboard. It just says the word help written over and over and over again.
Hey, Bob, you gonna run those up to our supervisor, Bob?
Yeah. All right, I panicked, okay?
Oh, we got this, man. We got this. Here, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. I punch in the code.
Are you fucking shitting me? 1, 2, 3, 4?
I don't.
Oh my god.
Gotta love rich hits. Let's go.
All right, you've entered the maintenance corridor. This runs along the back area of the apartments. It's actually really large. There is a massive boiler and sort of like heating, cooling system. There are water pumps. This thing is like big.
Yeah.
And you're inside.
Cool. First, I'm gonna, I guess, check the boiler to make sure everything looks fine for Granny. Anything weird with it?
Yeah, it's turned up a little too. Its parameters are set a little too far outside of the norm.
I'll fix it for her. I told her I would.
All right. I'm gonna have you roll a technology roll, please.
Sure. Ooh, look at those 3 dice. Hey, that's actually 2 successes.
Really?
Yeah, here. It's 2 6s and a 5.
Oh my god. Yeah, you set the boiler parameters, and you set her temperatures properly, and as you finish it, you actually accidentally snap the dial off.
Oh no!
So it's set to the optimal temperatures, but it can no longer be adjusted whatsoever.
Well, let's hope she likes it. I just stick it in my bag.
Yeah, you take the dial with you.
This is the bag of infiltration. This is all of the weird things that you can use to get through whatever you can think of.
Absolutely. So yeah, you've fixed Granny's apartment heating.
Yeah.
And you're in this back corridor.
Okay. And I'm gonna, so this is on floor 4?
Correct.
Cool. If I walk all the way down the corridor, does it lead down another floor?
Yes, there are
Okay.
a set of stairs down.
Cool. I'm gonna walk along the corridor slowly to, if anyone is paying attention to my footsteps, make it look like I am doing things. And then I'm gonna walk back down to the stairs and I'm gonna go to the 3rd floor.
Okay. You do so. You make your footsteps sound busy in that weird slow way where
Yeah.
you just and you head down the stairs. as you go down the stairs, Briar takes off his hard hat and wipes back his hair. And he turns to you and he says, "So, what's the plan now? Where do we go from here?"
Well, we're gonna see if we can get into the office and do our thing, and then we're just gonna continue to do our maintenance check, and then we're gonna leave.
Okay.
We're gonna do this as routine as possible, right? Because if we can get what we're looking for and find nothing for our maintenance check and then just leave, we can tell Darren, the very nice butler, that we tried to fix the heating and cooling for Granny. You didn't catch her name, did you?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I was too busy screaming inside.
That's understandable. Understandable entirely. We'll just tell him that we tried to fix that for her, and we'll be on our way. Be super easy.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
All right. You head down to the third floor. The third floor looks very much like the fourth floor in terms of the machinery and equipment. And there are ducts running along the ceiling, like heating and cooling ducts. There are, there's water heaters and heating, cooling, all the standard stuff that you would find in an apartment building.
Cool. And then is this, I guess I should ask again, is this like an apartment building like with different units, or is it all just one family?
It's not all one family. There are separate units. Like, it's probably a duplex. Like, it's probably condo style where you own a vertical slice of the building.
Yeah.
And you have multiple floors going up and down.
Cool.
So you get the right unit and you have access to all the floors.
Yeah. Do we know what unit our target is in?
Yes, it's Unit 3.
Okay. Can we see which units are which from the service hallway? Like, is there an indication for us to check specific units, or do we have to,
Do you mean like on the machinery, or?
Is there a way for me to get from the service hallway into someone's unit?
There is a service door.
Okay. Into each unit, or just onto the floor?
Onto the floor.
Okay. So I'm gonna once again make myself sound busy, check the stuff, and then
you do so.
We're gonna leave because this is the third floor now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna try to find Unit 3. So we'll go out onto the floor, or out of the service hallway.
You do so.
And find Unit 3.
You got it. You enter into floor 3. And there are several doors, one of which is marked with the number 3.
We'll knock.
There's a pause, and after a moment through the door, you hear a young woman's voice going, "I'll get it." And the door opens to reveal a young woman, she's probably about your age, with a clean strawberry blonde bob. And her eyes sort of just like flick you up and down. She like looks at Briar and looks at you, and she says, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, we're here checking out just some air conditioning stuff, and we just the service thing said we should check out your unit.
I see. And you can't do that through the service
Yeah,
hallway?
it needed us to do an actual sweep of the house for the pressure stuff.
Roll for manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
The pressure stuff.
The pressure stuff. Isn't that what you searched for? One success.
One success.
I'll push that.
Push it.
It's 2 successes now.
All right. She gives you a look, like a really piercing look. And then she says, all right, come on in. And she walks back into the house, into the apartment. In the apartment, you can see you're on the 3rd floor. It's a hallway. It's a hallway down. You can see a spiral staircase going up and down in either direction. At the end of the hallway, sort of a black metal spiral staircase, and there are rooms on either side of you. There are 4, and the staircase going up and down.
I'll try to kind of clock a couple of things. Are any of the doors open into those rooms?
One of them is open, and you actually see the young woman go sort of back into it. It looks like inside it's a bedroom.
Okay.
There are a couple. That's the only one that's open. The rest of them are closed.
Okay. Well, that answers the second question, which was which one does the young woman go into?
Yeah, she goes into the second one on the right.
Well, I'm just gonna, I guess, kind of do a polite knock on all the on each closed door in turn, and try to just go do my little sweep with my weird little beepy device.
You do so.
My ping pong device.
You go from room to room. Do you go in the young woman's room as well?
No, I just kind of wave and stick the little thing inside of it and say, we're good. Just kind of, yep.
Yeah. You go into each one, and there's no one inside. You can actually hear downstairs. It sounds like there's some sort of dinner party going on.
Okay.
There are a few voices. There's some laughter. There's light music. You can hear the clink of tableware and glassware. And the door across from hers, the other 2 look to be guest bedrooms.
Okay.
The door across from hers is an office. It's pretty big. There's a large mahogany table at one end with a sort of leather top, those toppers that desks have.
Yeah.
And there's an old style lamp that you might find in a law school with the green lampshade and the golden base. And dark mahogany bookshelves that are lined with books and trinkets and curios. There's a painting on the wall of a ship at ocean. It looks to be sort of a stormy sea. And there's a ship, vaguely nautical themed stuff. Dad hobbies type stuff.
Yeah.
It's he got really into ships. There's also a model ship in a bottle.
Amazing.
Yeah, very, very much nautical themed. And the desk has a tablet computer at it. It's one of those. It's essentially mostly a clear screen, large. It's about 50 inches across. That is tactile touch, and there's a mouse and keyboard, wireless, sitting on the desk. It's a pretty clean, clear desk.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of turn to Briar and say, all right, divide and conquer, look for, the usual hidey holes, and I'll check the desk.
You got it. All right.
And I'm gonna do so.
You go over to the desk, and you start opening the drawers one by one. At first, you find the first one just has a couple papers. One of them has a book, like an actual paper book, that is Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
Of course.
Because of course. And one of them is a larger file cabinet that has various printed file information. It's not a ton in there. It looks like there's some basic stuff in there, some health records, dental records. This is obviously a home office.
Yeah.
The other side has like a device charger. It's got one that has like some candy in it, and the final one is empty.
Empty. Can I look at it a little bit closer and see if it looks like it has any like secret compartments or
it
hidey
does
holes?
Indeed. You reach in and sort of feel this little notch, and you press in and you click, and another drawer slides out from the dividing wood slides out, and inside there is a jewelry box, and there's a handgun.
Okay.
Well, so far so good. Things have been going pretty smoothly for our two friends. But are they gonna be able to get the necklace and get out undetected? What's the significance of the necklace anyway? And is Briar as big an idiot as I think he is? We'll find out next time on Astronautica.
Hey everybody, Matt here, your friendly neighborhood GM. I just wanted to take a moment and thank you all so much for listening to our podcast. We have a ton of fun making it, and I hope you have as much fun listening to it because it's great. If you like our show and want to support us, please check us out on Patreon, where for as little as $1, you can help us keep this going. Also, I just wanted to take a moment to thank my wonderful players, Ian Mutiner, Benjamin Timothy Jenkins, and Lauren Alice Dinney. They are wonderful and they ruin all my plans, and I literally could not do this without them, so I am eternally grateful. I also wanted to take a moment to thank Shersty Jorgensen, who designed our awesome logo, and also to thank Harrison Campion, who is my musical partner in crime. Anytime you hear a sick bass lick, that's Harrison. He's pretty great, and he's far more talented than I am, so I'm happy to have him around. I also want to take a moment just to thank my wife, Angie Feek, for all of her love and support, and for her continued input in the story. She's already made it so much better, and I'm super grateful. And finally, thank you to EJ Schumacher and Lauren Pratt, our first two ever Patreon supporters. We're so grateful. Seriously, there's a lot of cool stuff. Get in on that. There's unedited shows where you can see how much we don't know what we're doing. You get all of the music from the shows. So if you just want to like listen to some sci-fi ambient stuff, there will be one-shots that we run, and it might not be me. It could be Ian or Ben or Lauren, any of us doing this. So there's a lot of really great content for you to check out. Go over to our Patreon, check it out. And finally, thank you all so much for listening. You guys are great. Stick around. There's a lot of fun stuff coming up.